I want to welcome Samantha to Profitable Pursuit. I am so excited you're here. I can't wait to share your story and what you're doing. You're like multi-passionate. We're going to dive into all the things. So welcome to Profitable Pursuits.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's just jump right in. Can you share, in case our audience isn't familiar with you and your business, can you share like all the things you do and just give us like the 411 on who you are, what you do, and like share your goodness?
Awesome. Okay. So I'll keep it short and sweet. So first and foremost, I am the CEO and founder of Manimade LLC, where I do branding, logo design, marketing, PR, all of the creative. That's really my passion and what I really love to do. I am the creative director for Supply Centers, and I manage a team of 3. And we do everything from social media to flyers to website designs, billboards, ads, anything that you see brand-wise that comes from our supply that runs through me and my department and my team. And I am a commercial licensed real estate agent up here in New York, working on transitioning that down south. So I also can transition down south. Hey, yo. Which would be fantastic. And then side stuff, I really do a lot with, I have a heart for charity and giving back. So the rest of my time is usually spent volunteering and all of that goodness.
You crack me up the rest of your time. Like, how do you have, no one has time. We won't
No,
even dive into that. No one has time.
no.
Okay, where's like your heart? Like if you could only, if I was like, you have to do only one thing,
Mm.
where would it be?
It would 100% Manimade in the logo and like building a business aspect of it. I have been very blessed to help over 30 businesses create logos, create Facebook pages. Some of them create websites as well. And that's really where my passion is. There's something about seeing an entrepreneur want to tackle their passion and dive into that and being able to like help them take what's in their head and get it out there and be able to live their dream life. It's like I get goosebumps. Yeah, I would do that all the time.
So is it a fair categorization to say like you're a creative and like you love that?
I am a 100% right-brained, live in full color at all times. Yes.
Okay. So then let's dive into like how to be a creative, but like also run a business, right? Because it's one thing to go into someone else's business as a W-2 and to like be able to pour out your creative energy. But when
Yeah,
you also have to marry that with like, I have to run a business and be strategic and make it profitable because otherwise, what's the point?
exactly.
How do you do that? Like, what's your advice to marry those two?
Ooh, all right. So, first bit of advice, and it may be overplayed on social media, but literally, when you are following your passion, there's something about the way you speak, about the way you carry yourself that naturally is going to draw people to you. Because it just comes natural for you to speak about it, for you to be in that realm. So that is tip 1, is really just find what brings you joy, and you'll naturally align with people that want to do that as well. Making sure that you are yourself. So I talk a lot about brand. You are a walking, talking billboard for your business. So the way you carry yourself on social media, whether it's your business social media or your private social media, people will find you. So make sure that you are being yourself and really being true to that. That will also bring people to you. As far as the black and white, which is really funny because I'm a licensed financial advisor, but my brain takes a lot to swing into black and white mode. But really taking the time, even as a creative, if you need to make your spreadsheet neon pink and green and put photos in it in correspondence to I actually do this. I'm not going to lie. So that I have fun inputting my numbers into my spreadsheet to know, okay, I had this much coming in, this is much is going out, but still making it fun for yourself. It becomes a far less tedious thing for you to tackle and for you to do. So that would kind of be my tip as far as a creative entrepreneur, is still making those mundane black and white things fun and finding a kind of a tool that can streamline as much as possible for you. So my bank that I utilize for all of my business banking is an app, and it will put things in. It will automatically save some taxes for you. You can send out your invoices right through that same thing. Your invoices come back for you and you get a quick rundown at tax time. That's easy to do. So that would be another tip, is streamline as much as you can for those things that aren't as exciting for your brain and how your brain works, because then it doesn't become a 4-step process. It doesn't become, I have to take 3 hours of my day to run through this. It is a quick thing and it keeps it as simple as possible for you. So that can really kind of keep you in your, I call it the green zone, which as a creative, for me, my green zone is letting me make a logo, letting me make a flyer, letting me make a billboard. So being in that running numbers and sending invoices is very contradictory to what my brain wants to do. So it makes you far more profitable the more you can stay within that green zone space of what you're good at and what you love to do.
I love that. My biggest takeaway, and it's really good for if you're a creative or even if you have what I like to call myself boring businesses, is you just have to do what works for you. So if you have to make it pretty, because that's how your mind works, make it pretty, no shame to it.
Yeah.
Do whatever's going to work for you rather
Yeah.
than make it the long chore. If it's a long chore, no one's going to do it.
Right.
Is that
Right.
fair?
Absolutely. Yeah. It is really staying in line with what is easy for you and brings you joy. Because obviously, owning your own business, going from W-2 to owning your own business, it doesn't take the fun out of it, but there's a lot more behind the scenes that isn't just the fun of it, So I think really keeping the fun alive and the passion alive in what you're doing helps.
Absolutely. It's sometimes once you run a business, there's so much behind the scenes, and that's
Oh,
not why you got into business, but whether it's legal or whatever, it has to get done. So just do
it
what
does.
works for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I love that. So in the beginning, you touched on how you're, let's just categorize it, multi-passionate. You like to have your hands in all the things, right?
The way to describe it. Yeah.
Cool. How do you manage that? How do you manage being multi-passionate and still being profitable, having it work for you personally? Because my big thing is if your business doesn't work for you personally, what's the point? So how do you handle
Yeah.
all these things to make sure they work for you?
Yeah. So I actually use a program. It's called Asana. So it's one of the many project management systems. I know there's Monday.com and things like that as well. And that really helps me to put everything down almost in a task list. And I can view it and go, okay, I have to create 3 logos. I'm going to do them all at the same time. So bulk tasking has been a lifesaver for everything that I do. And no matter what business it is, I think I have 5 consistent monthly clients right now. And I go, okay, I have social media. I'm doing all the social media today. So it really just helps to bulk as much as you can, schedule out as much as you can, and keeping that kind of streamlined and learning that you do own your time. When I first started, it was such a huge thing for me to learn. I am a natural people pleaser, which positive and negative. So when I first started, I thought that I should answer every text message and every call within 2 minutes. Even if I was out on a walk with my son, that I would answer the phone, and it was just nonstop. And it becomes very overwhelming very fast because you think that you have to be everything for everyone because that's how you're going to make money. But it's not. It's learning that, you know what? I am out on a walk with my son and I am leaving my phone at home because this is my time, and going on vacation and learning, okay, if I want to get up at 6 and do an hour of work, fine, but learning that you can shut it off and that's okay. So I think it's a really good way to avoid burnout, to really stay within that realm of not your business, not all of a sudden becoming a mundane thing.
Yeah, I love that you hit on that. And now that like we're talking about it, I'm thinking it's almost like a rite of passage. I don't know any entrepreneur, and maybe I don't know if your experience is the same, where they've just been like okay leaving it and like okay with, I hate the word boundaries, but like boundaries
Yeah.
right from the get-go. I feel like as you become profitable, as you hit more revenue, you start realizing like, hey, they're gonna come. The clients will come. It can wait.
Yes. And I learned in my time in finance and in sales that when you are available nonstop all the time, it almost becomes like needy. Like you need them. And there is something calm and relaxing for a client and a customer to realize that you've got this. Yes, of course you want to work with them, but it's not I need you. It's a let's work together and make this like a symbiotic relationship of helping you get to your goal. And there's a calm in working with people in that way.
We have a lot of newer business owners who come into our circle, and I love them.
Yeah.
And I just want to share, like, if you are feeling like this, my phone's always ringing, I have to bring it, like, that's fine, do it now. Like, you'll come out of it, and it's a rite of passage, and that's okay. So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's just a rite of passage. Like, you'll go
Yeah.
through it, and then you come out of it and realize, like, they still come, they still call, they can wait.
Yeah. Yeah. People can, especially as you're working with other business owners or anything, they have lives too. So it's all right to say, I'll get back to you within 24 hours or 48 hours. And that's all right. But you are entirely right. That initial part where you become a business owner is like, I have to talk to everybody and I need to talk to them right now. And it's mayhem, but I think it's nice to realize that you can push if you have to.
Absolutely. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for anyone who's going through it currently. There is. You'll get there.
It'll
So
come.
a huge, right? A huge part, obviously, of owning a business and owning a profitable business is obviously bringing in clients. What is
Mhm.
like your tips? I love to hear like the insider tips, tricks from different perspectives on how you, I used to say like obtain, and then someone corrected me and was like attract. Cheryl, you have to attract. And I was like, okay, that works too. So whatever verbiage you like, what is your tip or trick on attracting clients or bringing people into your world?
Yeah. So touching on kind of what I said earlier is really being yourself. I have found that when I stopped being what I thought a business owner needed to be, or what I thought a business owner should say, and walking the fine line, that when I just really was me fully, is when I kind of broke through that wall of having like one client to having people literally on a daily basis ask, what I do, if they can work with me, if I can do this, if I'm capable of that, if they can give my name to so and so. So really taking the time to sit and think, all right, why did I create this business? What is it that I love about it? And letting yourself be that way is one, that's the number one thing. Like, don't try to be what someone else wants or needs you to be, or you think you should be as that type of business owner, but being yourself, because that's why people work with you. They're not working with you, even though I love logos, they're not working with you because of your logo, and they're not working with you because of, you know, what your office looks like. They are working with you because of your knowledge and your skill set. So really allowing that to shine through is a huge one, and making sure that you are consistently in front of people. That nowadays, that can be physically at networking events, and that's great. That can be doing podcasts or webinars. That can be making sure you're on Instagram and Facebook, but making sure that you are out there and that you are consistently like allowing people to know what you do, what you're capable of, and updating that. Like, I started my business as a business that created fun t-shirts because I liked to design, and I thought that's what my business was going to be. And within 2 months, it transitioned into, I do logos and like design work, and then transitioned again into, I can do that, but then I can also do your marketing for you. So allowing your business to grow with you is huge. That allows you to not only, as we were just talking about, attract new customers because they might need above and beyond, but it also allows your business to grow and have outreach. Like, don't stay in the pigeonhole of what you thought you were going to do or what you thought you needed to do, but allowing yourself to go, ooh, I learned this, and oh, I can do that. And really kind of allowing that to evolve along with how you're evolving in your life is a good one.
Do you have a personal like favorite visibility tactic? Is it like podcasts or in-person networking? What's your personal favorite?
Yeah. Right. So I am forever a sucker for like in-person networking events, which is funny because I love remote work and I love all of that. But there's something about like sitting down and meeting with people in those business networking events, or even like the nonprofit things you get invited to for a business that are actually networking events. So really just sitting down, because you can talk to so many people at the same time, I think is really fun. But I've really kind of fallen in love with the podcast world. Truthfully, I listen to them my entire way to work. A lot of times I listen to them while I'm working. So I think that there's a really big value add in the outreach, that not you as being on a podcast, but in listening to podcasts, of the knowledge and just the little bits of information that you can pull. I think that reaching far outside of just where you physically are is a really cool thing that we're able to do nowadays that you weren't always able to do.
For sure. I love how you started off with like in-person networking. I feel like so many people in the online space, like, get out of your house, get out of your office, go meet people in person. There's so many clients or opportunities that we're missing by
Mhm.
just staying in our office and in these closed worlds, because that's what we've done for, the couple years with COVID. So I love that you started there. And I wish more people would do that. And I know it's for some reason it feels like a little bit more scary to like meet people in person, but like you'll sit and talk to thousands on the internet and anybody can watch, but like go out and meet people.
Yes, learning to actually see somebody and approach them and speak again that was definitely a really funny one right after COVID, to see how people were like, because everybody's so different, of can I approach them, can I not, like what are people's boundaries anymore. But yeah, I think it's nice that people are finally kind of breaking back out and and getting into that world again.
For sure. So I'd love to encourage anyone, like, go find a local networking event. Just like do it. And then let us know how it goes. Like it'll be great.
It'd be
Uh
fun.
Obviously we chat all about being profitable and like what does that mean for you personally, and we are all about building a business that works for you personally. So what are some of your tips and tricks to make sure your business is working for you personally and you are personally profitable?
Yeah. So for me, it's a lot of people immediately think of money. For me, being profitable, having a successful business has always been about the freedom of where I am and when I do things. So for right, I love grabbing my laptop, grabbing an umbrella, and sitting on the sand. Having this is when I get my most creative thoughts and crazy thoughts to do things. So I think being able to make sure, for me, making sure that my business, even though I love in-person networking, is fully flexible, fully remote as far as when I'm doing it and where I'm doing it, has been a very large aspect of whether it's successful and whether that's a positive or a negative for me. And I know a lot of people are that way. You could see it all over social media of, working out in the sunshine today. So all for that and that lifestyle. I think that making sure you are following through with clients is going to keep you up there and making sure that you are profitable. So even though
Yes,
we
I
spoke
love
about
that.
like making sure, like we talked about making sure that you do take time for yourself and you set those boundaries, and that's fine, but making sure that it's not 3 months before you're answering back or doing this, and it's astronomical, but really following through and getting them the information that they need and making sure that you maintain that connection and correspondence with them, I think is really big in making sure that they stay happy with you, that they know what's going on, and keeping them kind of in your corner, which
I
no one ever
love
wants to
that.
lose a client. So
I love that tip. And that's, we've done a lot of interviews so far.
yeah,
And you are the first one to say it, but a little bit of customer service and like customer connection, people just want to feel heard.
yeah, yes,
And
absolutely.
it's more cost effective to keep a client than to attract, obtain a new client. So
Oh
that's an
goodness, yeah.
awesome tip.
I have gotten, I want to say 80%. 80% of my clients are because of people that I've worked with, that they share what we've done together. And then they're like, can I give your name to so and so? Can I give it to my cousin, my uncle, whatever? And then I end up working with them. And then so it really is like, this isn't for me, at least. And I don't want to, you know what, we're going to say it. I don't think that any business owner should be a transactional business owner. I don't think, even if it is a transactional thing, like a retail store owner, that's transactional. You came in to buy a pair of pants for an event. But like, if you think of it in just transactional, okay, that's your one-time client. If you think of it in this is a customer, this isn't a one-time. Now you've got somebody that you've given them a level of customer service, a level of connection, a level of just taking the time to talk to them for a minute. Now they're coming back for the next event they have. Now they're telling their cousin, oh, you have an event, you have to go to this place. So even businesses that seem transactional, I think if you can get out of that mindset that this is a lifetime commitment to my business, and my business grows by having a commitment to the people that have entrusted whatever we're doing enough to give their hard-earned money to me to do it. So that it's a big one. I think.
It's a huge one that I don't think is talked about enough. And when I even look at our business, we like our clients don't leave, and it's because we turn something that's transactional
Yeah.
into a relationship,
Yeah.
right? Like make it get rid of the transaction and make it a relationship. And maybe short term, you're not getting more dollars in your pocket, but long term, for
Oh,
sure you will.
exponential. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's just because people want to be heard. They want to be like, they want to be connected to something and not just like dollars for pants, right? Like,
Right.
I like this shop, so I go there because I talked to Sally and she asked me how my kids are. But, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Everybody is the main character in their own story, right? So if you make it about you and your business, that's not going to connect with them. It's about them. It's about them, their story, their business, what's happening in their life right now, because what's happening in their life is what brought them to you. So you just need to be that supporting character in getting them to where they want to be. No matter if that is looking good at an event or starting a new business and following their passion or whatever the case may be, that, you know, thinking of it in that aspect. It's not, you're not the business owner in the hierarchy. Every one of your customers and clients, you work for them. So you went from a W 2 having one boss. Now you went to being a business owner and you have 20 bosses. It's just what it is. And it's fantastic, but it is something that some business owners know, and some business owners, I think, kind of go about it as that hierarchy. And it really is, you work for them. Absolutely.
I love that. I want to end that little like segment on something you said was let them be the main character,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's like my mind-blowing moment, like from this, like let your clients, let whoever walks into your life, let them be the main character. Put them on that main character pedestal, and I think you'll have a client, a customer, a relationship for the long haul, which ultimately will make you more profitable so you can live out your hopes and dreams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, I love that. Um, one of my favorite questions to ask people who come on
Oh boy.
is if you had to build the business you have today with all the time freedom, with the profitability in half the amount of time, how would you do it?
Ooh, all right. That I like this one, but it's a wheel turner for
It
sure.
is a wheel turner, and I'll tell you why I love it. I love it because we have so many new people coming in, and if we can compress time for them and they can find
Uh,
success faster, quicker, whatever that is for them, I love to like share those tips. So that's why I like to ask. If you had to build the business you have today in half the amount of time with your successes, how would you do it? What
so
would you focus on?
truthfully, I think that I would, because I got excited and I jumped at it. And I one night was like, I'm doing my website now and my Facebook now, and I'm going to throw it out there. I think taking the time, even though there's excitement, taking the time before I launched my business to truly think about, populate, and template my social media and my website to really align with and be more of a sales funnel, rather than just that exciting, ooh, like, look what I did. Here we go. Let's go at it. And
Love
then thinking about it and tailoring it and pulling it back. Like, obviously, I'm an all in type of person. So I think people kind of expected it from me, but I would have really launched with a thought process and jumped right in and probably gotten, these 5 monthly recurring people, months earlier if there had been that thought. So even in all of your excitement, taking the time to put at least like a 3 to 6 month, this is my launch plan, will cause you to hit the ground running so much faster than riding that wave of excitement, even though that hurts me a little bit to say because I'm an excitable person.
I love that. And I think what that does is it eliminates the amount of editing and like refixing and like realigning and like, oh, this actually isn't even a sales funnel. It's just an announcement about me or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I really like that one. Because when you do stuff with some intentionality, it's gonna reduce the amount of edits you have to do.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah. It saves you the rework. I literally went in and after like 4 months, did a complete like clean sweep of my website, of tailoring it more towards what I was actually doing. So yeah, and then that's ours. I mean, time is money and time is something we don't get back. So
Right.
if you can really get it to that level before you're jumping at it, yeah, you're going to save yourself. Not only are you going to hit targets faster, but you're going to save yourself hours later on from
We,
doing the rework. Yeah,
yes, that's so
for
good.
sure. For sure.
That's a good one. My favorite part about the internet is that you have an opportunity to meet someone that you wouldn't typically meet. It like brings me so much joy. I personally have met so many cool people from having these opportunities because of the internet. And another exciting thing is that you get to see someone's like goals and hopes. And I really believe when you see someone else's goals and hopes and dreams, it
Yeah.
gives you the audacity to dream a little bit bigger.
Oh, heavens. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're cool with it, I love to ask people like, what is like your next big dream, goal, hope? Like, what are you working for that like excites you?
Ooh. Um, so right now, what's been really exciting for me, I always said how I was going to own my own oceanfront place to go. Like that was, and people, I mean, I've been saying it for years. I'm like, it's going to happen, I'm going to do it. So my big thing was getting, but I was always an in office worker. So I'm like, how is this going to happen? So my big thing was always get myself to the point of making enough money in a remote capacity that I could finally say, doing it, I'm buying it. So I have reached that point. Finally got everything all approved. So my big thing right now, both business and personal, is purchasing that oceanfront space, which is the personal level. But then on the business level, passive income is a huge thing. And like I said early on, and I don't talk about it as much, but that I do commercial real estate. So purchasing it, but then going to be Airbnb it out while I'm not there to bring in that passive income, which will just help me like pour that back into the business and push the business even higher so that within the next 5 years, I can make the full-time switch to that beautiful waterfront living that I have wanted for so long.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing.
Yeah.
Where can people follow along? Where can people learn about your services? Where can we direct people to so they can get into your world?
Yeah. So I am on Instagram and on Facebook as Manna Made LLC. And that will be all of my business fun. I am also, my website is manamaidellc.com. I kept it real easy. And yeah, you can follow along. I try to share as many new businesses that I'm helping create and all of the fun stuff. So you can get a little tidbit of what I have done and hopefully, can work together and push some
So cool.
businesses forward. Yeah.
Well, we will drop all those links down below so people can grab them or and
Thank
jump
you.
on over. And I want
Oh,
to thank you so much for spending some time with us and sharing your wisdom with our audience. There's a lot of mind-blowing tips in here that we haven't heard yet.
I'm glad. Yay. Good. I tried
Sure.
not to write anything down. So I'm
No,
glad.
you did great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.